Welcome to In Bed with Luxury. My name is Charles Peddington. This time, our hotel adventures lead us to Indonesia, to an island called Java. In 1619, the Dutch East India Company conquered the Javanese port Jakarta, which they renamed Batavia. Batavia became the center of the Dutch Asian colonies, which lasted for the next 350 years. The Dutch East India Company, VOC, issued already in 1602 shares and bonds to finance itself and was in fact an early modern corporate model of a vertically integrated global supply chain. Wherever Dutch capital went, urban features were developed, economic activities expanded, new industries established, swamps drained, mines opened, canals constructed. But of course, there was also the dark sides of colonialism. Java was a botanical paradise for precious spices and tropical products. The island was a totally different place compared with today's world. In 1815, Java had only 5 million inhabitants. In the meantime, incredible 150 million people live on this island of the size of Greece. It is hard to imagine what a natural paradise Java must have been. In 1900, the population had grown to 35 million, among them 80,000 Europeans and 500,000 Chinese. As a legacy of the good infrastructure built in colonial times, Java is still the most developed part of Indonesia. And we are going to Surabaya now, which was the largest city in the Dutch East Indies. It was here that in 1910 a luxury hotel was opened in presence of celebrities like the Belgian Crown Prince, a Swedish princess and the famous actor Charlie Chaplin. It was then called the Oranje Hotel and later renamed to Majapahit, which means bitter fruit and refers to a Hindu empire that lasted for 2.5 centuries and is regarded as predecessor of modern Indonesia. We are now in the center of Surabaya, a buzzing city with a population of 3 million people. A shopping mall, though not a very impressive one, is just 6 walking minutes away. And here we enter an urban oasis. The old Oranje Hotel from 1910 still exists as a 5-star luxury property. The lobby is like a miraculous time channel back to another era. The hotel had an Art Deco overhaul in the 30s, and there was a 50 million refurbishment by a local Chinese businessman in the 90s. After that, it turned into a Mandarin Oriental property. At present, it is managed by the French Accor group and branded MGallery. MGallery defines itself as a group of hotels with stories to tell, often heritage places. The past was not always pleasant. There is a wonderful A-model Ford vintage car in the lobby from the 30s, which reminds of a political assassination. When in 1945, after the end of the Japanese occupation of Java, members of the Indonesian independence movement killed a Dutch representative who had arrived with his car and had risen the Dutch flag on the hotel roof. But let's enjoy the splendid architecture of this magic place. In Europe, the most famous hotelier was probably Caesar Ritz. But in Asia, it's the Sarkies brothers who founded the first Asian luxury hotel chain. They were 4 Armenian brothers, young traders and merchants in their 20s, and they came from Isfahan in Persia. Isfahan was part of the famous Silk Road from China to Europe, but when the Suez Canal was opened in 1869, it was the end of the old Silk Road. So the clever Armenians emigrated to Penang, today Malaysia. Penang was an important port and formed with Malacca and Singapore the British Straits settlements. With new steamships in the Suez Canal, the sea traffic boomed, and with it also an early tourism for the rich emerged. The Sarkies brothers understood there was a huge demand but a distinct lack of good accommodations for business and leisure travelers. The 23-year-old Tigran, soon followed by his elder brother Martin Sarkies, started with a lease of a small compound in 1884 in Penang, and he called it Eastern Hotel. They added another one they called Oriental Hotel, and finally they gave both of them up and opened the much bigger Eastern Oriental Hotel in Penang, which still exists today. The next project was the famous Raffles Hotel in Singapore. Followed by the marvelous Strand Hotel in Rangoon on the banks of the legendary Irrawaddy River. Later, Lucas Sarkies, the son of Martin, went to Java and founded the Oranje Hotel in Surabaya, which we are enjoying now. This photograph shows Lucas Sarkies and his wife. And a plate in the hotel reminds us more than a century later that his little son Eugene had the honor of laying the groundstone for the Oranje Hotel, named after the Dutch royal family. At the reception, there is still a big picture of the beginnings of this luxury palace. The Sarkies brothers also ran and operated the Seaview Hotel in Singapore and the Crag Hotel on Penang Hill, which does not exist anymore. So, aren't we lucky that this beauty survived more than a century in such a good shape? So let's have a closer look behind the impressive heritage doors. The Majapahit offers 143 rooms, among them 23 garden rooms and 89 executive suites. The top suite is the presidential suite where US President Obama had stayed. But there are also very convenient heritage and so-called legendary suites. In a so-called classic room, you can expect 44 square meters. In the heritage suite, 57, and in the legendary suite, 96 square meters. If you want to know which rooms are the best, just have a look at our website and we tell you the best rooms and also the number of the room Lucas Sarkies stayed when he visited his hotel as an elder man. But now let's see where President Obama was dreaming. This is the presidential suite. There's no shortage of space in the presidential suite, which is laid out on 2 floors and has a size of 887 square meters. From his terrace, Mr. Obama had this view, probably decorated with a bunch of grim-looking security agents. The bathroom is huge, but a bit old-fashioned and certainly not state-of-the-art, yet it has its charm. Within this urban oasis there are 2 wonderful retreats, the pool and the excellent spa. The Majapahit offers a Chinese fish restaurant. It's called Sarkies. It's excellent and you can see it here. Furthermore, there's a bakery and a cake shop called Tokyo Deli and a very nice pub I recommend. It's called March with live music in the evening. And of course you can always have a drink and a snack in the lobby. But there is one magic highlight. I have seen many hotel restaurants all over the world, but unexpectedly I was deeply impressed by one of the restaurants in this hotel. It's called Indigo and you can see it here. I was impressed by the quality of the food as well as of the extraordinary Art Deco interior. The Oranje Hotel was opened in 1910, but expansions in the Art Deco style were made in the 20s and especially in 1936. With great luck, much of the interior design has survived. This is like time travel, magic. This unknown guy passionately declared that he had the best Thai Tom Yum Gong soup ever here in the Indigo, better even than in Thailand itself. So let's order a delicious cocktail here in the Indigo Art Deco Time Warp. A Sarkies Romance, for instance, or a Surabaya Sling, or a Majapahit Cooler. Cheers and see you next time at another In Bed with Luxury hotel check. Your Charles Paddington.